Hi everybody, my name is Mrs. Hajam and I've been asked to talk to you about economics at A-level at JCG. I thought I'd start by introducing some of the topics that we might look at through the course, through the 2 years at A-level, because I'm sure lots of you have logged onto this thinking, I don't know what economics is, I know nothing about it, I don't know the type of things that we might study. So let's go through some of the topics. It covers so many different things, topics in the news, perhaps things you might not expect. So we look at market failure, we look at things like plastic pollution. How can economists find solutions for this? Year 13 at the minute are looking at strategies used by Netflix and Amazon to try and increase sales. How are they innovating, improving their products? In development economics in year 13, we will look at the difference between why some countries are rich and why some countries are poor. Although the Brexit vote was 2016, it still has a huge impact on government policy, and we spend quite a bit of time looking at how governments influence businesses with the regulations and how that impacts business decisions. We also have some psychology, a small bit of psychology in terms of how we can influence behaviour, and we call those nudges. So how we can encourage, for example, people to behave in a more environmentally friendly way. We looked at this briefly with year 12 today, the sugar tax, what impact it has on the price of soft drinks. Again, post-Brexit, what will be the impact in the job market? What will happen to wages? And what about those industries where there's huge labour shortages, such as the NHS or lorry drivers? Trade, we spend a lot of time in year 13 looking at international economics. So who wins, who loses from trade wars. Again, very topical at the minute, electric vehicles. How can we encourage them? How can they help economies grow? Another topic familiar to JCG students, what about the gender pay gap? What are the economic reasons for it? Are there economic reasons? And if there are, how can we resolve them? Topical to Jersey, house prices, why are they higher in some areas than others? What about the future for cash post-COVID? What implications will that have for businesses? And then those of you thinking going to university, what about the value of a university degree? Who should pay for it? Should you pay for it, or should the state subsidise you? All these kind of things that we might consider over the course of an economics A-level. So back to the introductions. My name is Mrs. Hajam. This is my 4th year at JCG, although I've been teaching economics for 20 years now, of which 13 have been head of department. I've taught in lots of different schools with but all boys, all girls, mixed, and different degrees of ability, and students with additional languages as well. Let's just do another short interactive activity to introduce what economics is all about. And I want you in a minute to perhaps just pause the video and think about which policies you would choose to try and reduce traffic congestion in Jersey. Okay, those of you dropping off at JCG will obviously experience this every day. And I've got 8 policies and I want you to choose 2. Which would you choose? Okay. Banning cars, introducing a congestion charge, increasing the tax, or the free school bus service, which we have to some extent, but the £20 fee at the minute is still supposed to be just a trial period, so perhaps rolling that out permanently. Or then another 4 here, subsidising electric bikes, advertising to promote the benefits of cycling and walking, more dedicated cycle routes or cycle lanes, or perhaps something a bit more radical, not allowing people to live outside their catchment area for their primary school to avoid that morning traffic. So perhaps students could walk to school. Which would you choose? Which 2 would you choose? And what has this got to do with economics? Okay, it's got everything to do with economics, because economics is all about making decisions. It's all about making choices. Why did you have to make a choice? Why can't the government of Jersey choose all those 8? Why can't they choose all 8? To a greater or lesser extent, they'll all have an impact. So why can't they choose them all? And they can't choose them all because we have limited resources. We have scarcity. We don't have enough to go round. So economics is the science of choice. And I like that definition. It's about making decisions of how and why choices are made. So governments, imagine all the choices governments have to make, how to spend, what to spend money on. With the budget at the minute in the UK, will they reduce spending on international development or education or transport? How do they make that decision? Businesses, what to produce, how to produce, where to produce, in what country. And then you, me, family, we have choices every second of every day. And how do we make those choices? Why do we choose one option over another? Because by choosing, we're giving something up. So why do we make that decision? So why study economics? Okay, economics is literally everywhere. Every time you make a choice, you can relate it to economics. Home, school, socializing, watching this presentation right now is also a choice. Okay, it's got to do with economics. You do not need to have done GCSE. There's no previous study required. It's really important that you're interested and have an opinion on what's going on in the news around you, current affairs. If you're not currently interested, I will help you be interested. And we do a kind of a weekly, semi-weekly blog article to get you interested. It goes with lots of other A-levels, geography, politics, maths, also psychology. Is it mathsy? That's the question I get asked all the time. Honestly, no. But 20% of marks are available for quantitative skills, but that can include drawing and interpreting graphs and numbers. So you have to have you mustn't be afraid of the numbers, right? But it's not nearly as difficult as you might think. If you can do a percentage change, then you have the maths required to do A-level economics. Let me show you a couple of questions from previous years in a second. Your written and analytical skills are way more important. So let's have a look. I'm just going to you can pause this and have a look at 2 of the questions from 2018. Calculating the weekly revenue. Okay. You know that there's 73 million tickets sold. After the tax was paid, we just do £2 minus the 24 times 73 million. Easy peasy. And then this one here, how much does the estate agent get in fees if they get 1.3% of the final price? Again, not difficult. What do our students say about A-level economics? So this is from a couple of years ago. I asked the girls to write some things for me. Economics is about looking at decisions people make and what can affect those decisions. I can hold much more intellectual conversations about the goings on in the world. And then this one here. It isn't actually just maths and graphs. In fact, there's not much maths at all. Economics is looking at decisions people make and what can affect those decisions. I definitely recommend economics to literally anyone. I had practically no clue how our economy worked before starting economics, and it's genuinely so interesting to learn how the world around us functions. So that's nice comments from previous students. I'm not going to go through these now. If you want a more in-depth insight into what's on the specification, please go to Pearson Edexcel Economics A. The A is important because there is an Economics B, which we do not do. So Economics A, and look at the specification for the 4 different sections that we do. And then again, briefly, the assessment is all at the end of year 13, 3 papers, 2 hours each, and it will across all the different themes, no coursework. Let's just have a quick look at the results. So in summer 2022, the group did fantastically. There were 17 of them. We had 3 A stars, 9 A's, 4 B's and a C, which was fantastic. And we had an ALPS level 2, which means JCG Economics is in the top 10% of all providers nationally for economics, and our A-level economics students made more progress than 90% of other providers. So the girls did brilliantly. If I compare that nationally, okay, so this isn't against Edexcel, it's against all the 3 exam boards, but they're broadly similar percentages. You can see our cumulative percentages far outperform the national average. We also have lots of opportunities for enrichment. So Richard Davies came to speak to us last year, the author of Extreme Economies. We've had speakers from the Bank of England and from Scoop, local Jersey company. And we have also in the past been on study visits into St Helier. If you've got any questions, please come and find me. I'm in R11, or you can email me there. Alternatively, or as well, please chat to Mr. Lewis. He's head of the maths faculty. Thanks for listening. I hope it was informative, and I look forward to seeing you next year in my economics class. Thank you.